play if he wasn't healthy, but he is. They have the best opportunity because he does make easy things look easy. And right now, he's the best quarterback.
What's up, guys? Hope everyone had an amazing Christmas, holidays, all of that. Safe, happy, and healthy. Joseph, you're on quickly. Josh Norman, he knows the system. He's got some juice. He's definitely not what he was in 2015, so let's not expect that. But having familiarity, familiarity and everything, that's the best we can do with JC Horn having wrist surgery on Tuesday, so I don't hate it at all. CJ Henderson's definitely got to step up. What's up, Hudson? So those are my thoughts on Josh Norman. Quickly, if you Jackson Stevens, what's up, CJ? Jackson Stevens was added on a non-guaranteed split contract for 2023, 1-year deal. Just about 15 minutes ago. So again, our bullpen, as I said in my video, is one of the most savvy, versatile bullpens and inexpensive bullpens at that for and so solid. Jackson Stevens adds another layer to that. I don't think we re-sign Luke Jackson, honestly. And Joseph, I know I have not done the Hornets recaps for last week. I will do them after the game tonight. Everything just kind of got a little jumbled with the holiday week and everything, but I will do them, I promise. I don't think we re-sign Luke Jackson because you've already got what do you already got? You got Colin McHugh, Nick Anderson, Jesse Chavez, Dennis Santana. Even though I would love to have Luke Jackson back, I don't see it given the fact that he's coming off of Tommy John, and we already have Tyler Matzik who's dealing with that as well. Yes, I would love to extend Max Fried's contract. But the way I look at free agency and contracts, I would love it, and I will jump for joy when it happens. But I just know that we have Max Fried under contract for 2 more years, and I'm going to enjoy that. I think everybody's high. Hi, Jameson. Yeah, I know. I was just comparing Tyler Matzik and Luke Jackson, where I don't think we do that again. If we do, I'll welcome it, but I don't think we do it again. I think everybody's forgetting that we have Orlando Arcia as Orlando Arcia may be the veteran option. I know I would love Elvis Andrews or something else because I just don't necessarily, again, I think we've talked about the same conversation for weeks. I don't necessarily like VG as the overall shortstop right now just because I don't think he's necessarily ready, but I will trust Ron Washington in that. And Orlando Arcia has been a starting shortstop in his career. It's been a few years, but he was very, very solid for the Brewers. And he gave us some really, really, really good moments, walk-offs, big hits. His arm is insane. And I think with Ozzy Albies back, the range there, it helps with that. And yes, the Mets have a Carlos Correa problem. I guess that leg has some issues. I'm surprised that I'm surprised that it's a problem. But if two teams are saying it, if one team said it and then the other team said, nah, we're good, but both teams saying it, different doctors, so there's got to be something there. I'm not sure exactly what. I know it was a broken fibula from 2014. That was 8 years ago. I do know that, but I'm not really exactly sure what to make of it. Although it's kind of funny that Carlos Correa hasn't even played an inning with the Mets and already having Mets-like problems. It is kind of hilarious in that way. And I think it's hilarious, and I think it is what it is. If he ends up with the Mets, which still seems likely to me, yeah, they are already making history, but I think it is what it is. No other team can compete like that and compete like that in terms of spending money. But the good thing about baseball, spending money doesn't necessarily equal wins. Plus, you're having a guy that's never played third base in his life shift over. I know it's happened before. Definitely. Hi, Doc's Cards. I don't think we've seen each other in one of these lives, so thanks for joining. But yeah, the Mets are definitely making history, and well, I hope you enjoy, and I'm glad you are here. Feel free to questions, comments, whatever. We're pretty back. We do this every Monday, so talking about everything that's happened in the sports world and specifically the Braves and Major League Baseball. So feel free to do whatever, comment. We are a say whatever you want type of freewheeling stream, but yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, is it scary that what the Mets are doing? Yeah, but again, putting together a super team doesn't necessarily equal wins. Do I see the Braves making any more trades soon? Probably not. I mean, I see there's something has to give in terms of the outfield situation in my mind, because in left field specifically, because you can't have Marcelo Zuna as a primary left fielder, because stating the obvious, he's terrible defensively and he needs to be your primary DH, but they've already said that they want Travis d'Arnaud to DH more with Sean Murphy now in the fold. So the Ozuna kind of blocks everything. So it's very weird. I think there something has to give, given that Luplo and Sam Hilliard are in the fold as well. They kind of fill in the off season's not over yet. We all know that. I mean, it's not, guys. It's not flashy. I know it's not. I wish we would have done more to this point, but I mean, it's forward thinking, because next year we would be we would be looking pretty much for a primary catcher, honestly, because Travis d'Arnaud is a free agent after this year. And now you have Sean Murphy as the primary for the next 3 years, and then you just have your backup, which could be Trump or something of that nature. He did solid in his one start last year, so a lot of this stuff is very forward thinking, and our bullpen. I'm very excited about what we've done with the bullpen. Locking up Spencer Strider, locking up Michael Harris, locking up Austin. And you want to do more. I think Willie C projects more as a DH anyway. So, and then don't even put Shoemake in that conversation. I am actually surprised that the Braves haven't moved on from Shoemake. He could be a possible trade piece because honestly, he has kind of just been stuck in the mud in the minors. I think we've changed his swing about 4 or 5 times. And it just can't. Dansby gets cheered. I don't know why you would boo him. Look, I get booing Freddie a little bit given the contract the contract negotiations and all of that. Yeah, I don't think you boo a guy for leaving. It's just the nature of the business and the contracts this year. It didn't seem likely that we were going to be able to re-sign Dansby with how consistent he was this prior year and things of that nature. So I don't think you boo him at all. I think he's Hudson. Are you still in here? I hope. Fancy dinner, and I hope Hudson, you see that. I'll have Mom come back if you didn't, but that is the reality of everything right now. Let's see. So, no, you really can't boo Swanson at all. And all of that stuff. And for the shortstop position, it's right now it's Arcia, it's Von Grisham, and I hope I would like to see an upgrade for sure, but I trust Ron Washington to no end when it comes to fixing infielders and things of that nature. No, I'm just, well, that's good. I'm just glad you saw it, Hudson, and thanks, guys. That Hudson has helped me make my own brand. So my mom was modeling one of the shirts, so that was yeah. I think it's kind of, and I hope that we, as a fan base, we just let Von Grisham be Von Grisham and not compare him to Dansby Swanson, because Dansby Swanson, I love him and I wanted him back, but this year was his most consistent year. And I understand that defensively you can't really get better than Dansby, but I mean, like Doc said, and Wash we trust, and I don't um I don't see any other way to do things there. I mean, until you get rid of the Ozuna contract, and we may still get rid of it by just eating some of it, but I think there is kind of a path to that still because we almost traded him twice last season to Washington for Patrick Corbin and to the Marlins for Avisail Garcia, but the Marlins and Nationals said no, which I don't know why the Nationals would say no there, but so, but I really think that we're kind of forgetting the Arcia of it all in terms of the shortstop position because he has been a starter, and like I said earlier, he's given us a lot of really good moments. Still has a cannon for an arm, and Ozzy's range should help a lot of things there. Yeah, I mean, I still think even if we dump Ozuna, we would have to pay a portion, but at this point, I would be willing to do that. And for it's just the reality. But it's 37, I believe 37 million at this point. So I'm not exactly sure what to do there. 93 more days until opening day. That has a nice ring to it. That's awesome to see Freeman in Atlanta on your birthday. That's a really cool Christmas gift. I got some good Brave swag. I got a baseball cross, first ever cross I've owned. So that's really a fancy, cool gift. And I take losses and some things a lot harder than I probably should as a fan. So my parents got me a punching bag, so that will probably be featured on some of my videos and recaps, and I'm really excited to not only get anger out if needed, but to get excitement out if needed. It was an awesome Christmas gift, so really excited about that. If Ozuna doesn't make it out of spring training, I'm good. No, you can't overpay for that. And I love Dansby and I love what he did and meant to the Braves and me personally. But I feel like if he can be consistent, that's great for him. But I don't see the Cubs being good for at least 2 or 3 more years, to be honest. But I mean, if we figure out the day game of it all, and you got Strider for a full season, you got Michael Harris for a full season. Obviously, a lot of things have to go right, but the good thing is Most of our roster is set for a while, and that's the good part about a boring off season, so to speak, is that a lot of our guys are locked up team friendly contracts and they want to be here. So I'm still happy with where we sit. I know again we're a little weary of some situations, but I feel like the outfield situation still has the outfield situation still has some things to be ironed out. Yeah, I mean, I never have left that's a lie. I've left a few games before they've ended, but not a lot of them. But I understand that as well. It gets frustrating sometimes, but yeah, I'm still really excited where the Braves sit as an organization, and I kind of prefer this way. Yeah, I would love to make splashy moves and things of that nature, but you see our organizational culture. If you want to stay a Brave, you will stay a Brave, given Austin Riley, uh, Matt Olson, Michael Harris II, Spencer Strider, Charlie Morton a couple of times, extension Travis Turner. Like, if you want to be here and you're a valued member of the team, they are gonna let you know. So, that's good. To get back to your recaps, Joseph. That's amazing and good for you. I mean, Kyle Wright, obviously, I think the starting rotation pretty much hinges. No, I've never left a Braves game in person. I've left a couple Panther games where we were down about 30 in the third quarter or so, but that's the only time I've left there. But I feel like the starting rotation hinges on, will Charlie Morton bounce back? Will the home run ball victimize him a little more? A little less? Will Kyle Wright have an encore type season? So there's a lot of questions, obviously. Fried is not getting traded yet. He's not getting traded at this point. We still have 2 years of control. And that rumor kind of makes sense, but it's not going to happen. As of right now, I mean, obviously with the historic contracts this offseason, it seems unlikely given that Max Fried is an LA guy. But if we wanted to sign Max Fried to the contract that Rodon signed, 162, I would take that right now and go to the bank. We're not gonna get. I don't think we're gonna get Drew Jones Jr. either, but that's a nice thought. But yeah, Max Fried would be a prime extension candidate. I wouldn't be surprised if they've already asked him, but who knows? But again, there's a nice 5-pack of questions for the Braves in the season, but if you look at last season, we still won 101 games with half of Ronald Acuna Jr., pretty much nothing from the left field left field position with injuries to Adam Duvall, Eddie Rosario, and the Marcelo Zuna of it all. You got I think, and maybe Ian Anderson is the another X factor of the rotation. I forgot to mention that when I was talking about it. And having Sean Murphy around, that really yeah, I mean, the lineup as of right now, I believe, would be Ronald Acuna Jr., Michael Harris, the second, Austin Riley third, Matt Olson fourth, Sean Murphy fifth, Travis. I think Oscar Inoa has had Tommy John, and I think he's going to be out the rest of the year. Yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of do when I get frustrated with the game. I make sure there's something else where I'm flipping. If I'm flipping with the TV and things of that nature, but I'll still follow it. I'm a sucker for punishment when it comes to my teams and how much they matter and things of that nature. So I'm kind of on the Jameson train there of what we do. Travis and Sean Murphy in the lineup at the same time kind of gives me interesting vibes there. And again, I think it's an unfinished puzzle, but I think I'm really excited to see it. For sure. The 40-man roster is currently full after the Jackson Stevens signing. I forgot to mention we did trade for Lewin Diaz, the former top prospect for the Marlins, from the O's for a player to be named later or cash considerations. He has torn up AAA, but just kind of fallen on his face with the opportunity that he's gotten with Miami. But he's really good defensively, and he's got a lot of pop, left-handed, really good at first base. Defensively, we don't have a lot of depth position-wise at the minor league level at this point. So hopefully, who knows, he could be a DH candidate if he tears the cover off the ball in spring training. But at worst, we'll try to probably outright him when everybody's rosters are full and try to accumulate more options. But that's an intriguing watch. In spring training, Lewin Diaz, we definitely need positional depth, for sure, in the minor leagues. Especially with the Sean Murphy trade, and things of that nature. So and he was briefly with the Orioles, so I don't know if that has nothing to do with it, obviously, but Lewin Diaz is definitely a interesting watch in spring training. Craig Kimbrell signed back with. I touched on Luke Jackson, but I don't think that Luke Jackson is kind of the right-handed version of Tyler Matzik. There's no news on Luke Jackson that I know of. I don't know. He'll probably be back in June or July if he pitches this season. I really enjoyed the Panther game. I didn't like that it was very cold, but I was nice and pretty warm. But I enjoyed us breaking rushing records at the game and crushing the Detroit Lions. I like that. And for Craig Kimbrell, 1 year, $10 million for the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm actually surprised he got $10 million, but it's the market price these days, or this offseason at least, because Craig has been super inconsistent. Except his Braves stint, he's been really inconsistent. So should be interesting. I don't know. I would think Sir Anthony Dominguez still closes for them. But Craig is an interesting piece to follow for sure. And as of now, the Carlos Correa of it all is still up in the air, which is very, 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 very funny. And I think have the Marlins added anybody this offseason? I don't think so. I don't think they have, so we could be the Marlins and we're not. I wish we had Sandy Alcantara, but that's probably about it. In terms of that, I'm surprised Gene Segura hasn't signed yet. If Correa ended up with the Twins again, I wouldn't mind it. I would laugh in the Mets' faces.
Hey fellas, we've got to talk. It's about your food. It has spray-on flavor and powdered meat.
Yeah, but I thought about Segura because just because he crushed the Braves and continues to crush the Braves when we play him, but defensively, maybe if we got him as like a DH and couple of DH and a spot start or something, but then it's still clogged a little bit. So it's an interesting thought, and maybe we'll do it, but I doubt it. But that's definitely an interesting thought. Max Kepler's also been a thought, but his contract is $7.5 million. Right now, the Twins outfielder, they kind of have a surplus of outfielders, so that could be a trade possibility. But again, it looks like we're kind of up against the luxury tax right now. Not that Alex Anthopoulos is afraid to go over it. I think it has to be the exact right move that will help the Braves now and in the future for that. So I think he's just been being very judicious with it. Yeah, the fancy word. But that's just my opinion on that. The Trevor Bauer news, I think the Dodgers are on the hook for $32 million. That is why they've had a quiet offseason for their standards. They have until January 6th, I believe, to make a decision on whether to release him. It looks like they are going to release Trevor Bauer, and I don't want Trevor Bauer. I mean, he hasn't pitched in like 2 years. I don't know. He's kind of a head case, and obviously the legal of it all. I know he was, I think, exonerated for all of that, but it's still gross to think about. So I don't want Trevor Bauer. I want Mike Soroka. I want Ian Anderson. I want Bryce Elder to succeed more than I would want Trevor Bauer. So that's my overall thought on that. Yeah, again, Segura definitely. Yeah, Bauer is a workhorse, but I think we already have an Ozuna baggage, and I don't know. If we did, it would be interesting to watch, but I just don't think that. Segura would be an interesting stopgap, but again, I think it's kind of Orlando Arcia is the stopgap at this point. And again, Elvis Andrus is still out there, and that's been the most talked about move for the Braves. Is Elvis Andrus, not from the Braves specifically, but from the talking heads and the beat writers and all of that stuff. It's more of an Elvis Andrus thing. I get it. The Bauer thing is what it is. If we get Bauer, I will. It'll be interesting. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I think I don't even know because he hasn't pitched in so long. I don't even know what to expect from him on the field, to be honest. So that's all I got there. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny to kind of see the Dodgers have to deal with the luxury tax and being on the hook for $32 million. Bauer is their Ozuna, so we'll see what they end up doing. But that's, I think, the Toronto Blue Jays trade for Dalton Varsho. Dalton Varsho is one of the more versatile, athletic, best outfielders in the game, but I think they overpaid with their top prospect. And Lourdes Gurriel, that's an interesting name to look at because I think the Arizona Diamondbacks already had a surplus of outfielders, and I don't think that they necessarily need Lourdes Gurriel, so maybe that could clear some of our outfield confusion. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I keep going back to the outfield because I think that is the cloudiest situation as we sit here on December 26th. But that's just my biggest thought there. Yeah, he could be a low risk, high reward type guy. I don't know exactly his numbers though. Let me look. But he did get traded to the Diamondbacks, and they haven't necessarily done anything with him yet. I like what the Blue Jays have done this offseason. Chris Bassett 363 to the Blue Jays. Then you got Eric Swanson, the big-time left-handed reliever from Seattle, in the Teoscar Hernandez trade. Although I think they gave up a lot for... Yeah, I think Arizona won that trade overall, definitely, because giving up your top prospect there. But I like what Dalton Varsho brings. And Kevin Kiermaier, I don't think they're going to let many baseballs drop in the outfield next year. I really like what they've done in the offseason. Not necessarily too flashy, but fills the needs. Yeah, but the Mets kind of revamped their rotation with Verlander and that Japanese stud star. That's gonna be fun to watch. Not to face, but to watch overall, because I'll like to see how that materializes, so to speak. They're trying. James McCann was traded to the Orioles. That's an interesting one as well. Nice little veteran for Adley Rutschman to bounce off of and things of that nature. They are trying to trade Carlos Carrasco, I believe, the Mets. So that's a name to... That's a name to look at, just as an interesting. The Texas Rangers are a weird one, just because they have three blue chip guys and not a lot of guys. I do like what the Angels have done, although trading us Raisel Iglesias, and they need a back-end reliever, so that's a little interesting there. But I like the addition of Drury and Renfroe for them. I believe they added Tyler Anderson, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Maybe a little too much on the second part of that deal. 3 years, 35. Yeah, Iglesias will be our closer for the next 3. Likely, as long as nothing else happened. But think that NFL wise, Nathaniel Hackett got the boot today after the 51-14 thrashing he took from the Rams and Baker Mayfield yesterday. That's just a terrible situation right now. And my Panthers are win the next 2 and win the NFC South and get into the playoffs after this crazy year. That's amazing. And Steve Wilkes needs to be the coach. Jansen adjusting to the pitch clock will be an interesting thing to watch. I think the pitch clock is good for the game. I don't think the the throw over rule is a good rule. If the Mets trade Carlos Carrasco, I mean, the Mets know how to win an off season, and they've kind of not remembered how to win divisions. So, yeah, Olsen's gonna have a really big year. I think on last week's CassMac Chat I said 45 homers, so I'm gonna stick to that. And I'll go 180 hits. I'll go with that. That's my prediction for Matt Olson with no shift. I do think that the throwover rule with 2 is dumb, but I guess we'll adjust to that for pitchers throwing over twice. Well, I think the modified shift is going to help a lot of guys, and I think we'll get used to it. Given that the shift just came in 2009, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be good for the game. Just as I said, the pitch clock will be. So bigger bases, I'll have to see. But if it prevents finger and hand injuries more often, that works for me. Really does. Most of the time, I have to see the rule to figure out if it's good or not. But I'm willing to see anything and everything to try to improve the game. And if it stinks, I hope they modify some things if they need to. But I'm all for the game getting better in different ways. Let's see. Just making sure we didn't do anything. The bigger bases, it'll probably prevent people sliding off the bases more, and stolen bases will probably go up. Injuries will go down. Yeah, it's probably mainly for the hand injuries of it all, but I think it'll impact stolen bases a little bit. So I think that is, but I honestly don't know until I see the impact of bases. So far, they're going to see what they're able to do. But like I said, not only with Jelani Woods, but when you look at guys like Michael Pittman, he's 6'4". Alex Pierce is 6'3". You've got another guy, Mike Strawn, who hasn't got a lot of. Jameson, do you have are you the Titans fan? Trying to give yourself an opportunity. You can tell that that's the mindset that Foles has tonight. Good protection. He was wide open. It brings up. Are you? The team that's 4-9-1 is going to go for it. It appears on 4th down. He plays physically. You see him just push Michael Davis away from him, and Foles, that's a ball that he definitely would like to have back. Yeah, I agree that we made the Murphy trade because he's so good defensively for sure. For darn sure we did that. It makes a lot of sense now and in the future as well, as I described, because so we'll. So I think, yeah, Sean Murphy is going to. If we thought William Contreras and Sean Murphy, William Contreras and Travis d'Arnaud were a great catching combo. Travis d'Arnaud and Sean Murphy are going to be absolutely incredible. Jameson, the wheels have fallen off for you guys. I remember you mentioning that you were a Titans fan, so I wanted to use. I don't know. You guys have a lot of questions, and I just don't. The AJ Brown trade it was mind-boggling. Was mind-boggling then, and now it's just but I just wanted to say that you're kind of like the opposite of the Panthers, where everything was going so great, and then it's just kind of hit a wall. So all that to say, I condole it. Like, I feel your pain is what I'm getting at, and whatever happens, it'll be very, 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 very interesting. Not after the start of the season, but this NFL season has been super, super wacky. That kind of makes no sense. But I think that is all I've got for today. I will catch up on the Hornets recaps, Joseph, and all of that stuff. Guys, have a safe, happy, healthy New Year's, and I will see you guys next week. Hopefully, the Braves make some more moves to make the cloudiness in the outfield, especially a little clearer. And 93 days until opening day. We are getting closer and closer, which is awesome. As always, go Braves, champions forever. Thanks for hanging, guys. It's been amazing, and thanks for all the support. Hit subscribe, hit like. It helps me out a lot. Much appreciated. Thanks, guys.
When the ball is in the basket near the belly, and when he's first touched, I think he's got a first down by just a little bit. That's definitely close. I agree with that. The spot, about where he spotted it.